Alright, here we go. Alright, so please turn your paper and let's look at this. So we're going to start by reviewing the slope formula. Now please, you guys know that we do not say over. Because we're not cows and we're not jumping over a moon. So this is y2 minus y1 divided by x. There should be some in your tower along with tape. I already put it in there. So it's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. You guys also know that it's rise then run. So what we're going to do first is we're going to identify these coordinates right here. Can anybody tell me this first point and where it is? Tell me. 2, 3. Fantastic. 2, 3. Take a point. Alright, can someone else tell me what this other coordinate is?
Yes, I can.
Mazzaro, tell me what that other coordinate is.
That is
Look at your paper.
It's magic, like you can just touch it.
Trey, shut your mouth, please.
Shut if I cut your dream.
Stop.
We're on air, y'all.
7, 7, 8.
It's 8, 6.
All right, I should take a look.
No. Take a point. Alright, so the way you find the rise, then the run, we're going to figure out how much we need to go up and then to the right to get to this point. So how many units do we go up? 1, 2, I went up too much. 3. That was my fault. You rise 3, and then you run how many?
6. 5, 6.
3 divided by 6. What does 3 divided by 6 reduce to? No. Y'all, 3 divided by 6 does not reduce to 2. It is 3 cheeseburgers and 6 people.
No.
It is 3 cheeseburgers and 6 people. It is 0.5 or 1/2. Because it's slope, you cannot have decimals.
Yeah, you got practice.
Say it to me again.
You just told me.
What'd you say?
Why is it on the half?
Because 3, 6 reduces to 1/2. What goes into both 3 and 6?
3.
3, right? And what's 3 divided by 3?
1.
1. What's 6 divided by 3? Yeah. You just reduce your fraction.
Oh, you use a calculator. I'll be faster.
Calculator? It's a calculator. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to find the slope of each line. So this is our first point. This is our second point.
I want to say that.
So let's count up and see how much we rise. Remember, it's rise then run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 and 1.
8 divided by 1. And what's 8 divided by 1? 8.
8.
Now, your answer is going to be positive because you start from left to right. So if I start from the left, am I going to climb up the hill or fall down the hill?
Up there.
Up the hill, so that means it's a positive slope. What about over here? Left to right, what am I going to do? So what kind of slope? Take a point, children.
Yes, I said that.
If you said negative, take a point.
Yes, take that point.
I did teach you this last year. 0 if it's a horizontal.
Yeah.
Alright, so please tell me what the slope of AB is. Not yet, just do it on your paper, and then we're going to say it out loud. Do it on your paper, then we're going to say it out loud.
You want us to find the thing?
I want you to find the slope like it says in the directions.
How do you do that?
Why did it tell me that?
That's mine.
Did y'all get 3 and negative 7?
No, but I got -3.
That's the same thing.
Can you explain that?
Alright, so let's talk about how I got that. So to go from B to A, you would have to go up 1, 2, 3 units. So I went up 3, and then because I'm having to go to the left, it's negative. So you go left 7 units, and that makes it negative. If you have negative 3 7s, that's the same thing. How many of us got that right?
Yes.
Take
I
a
got
point.
So it doesn't matter what building we start from. See?
Because if you go down, if you went from A and you went down 3, that's negative 3, right? And then right 7, so that would be negative 3 7s. It's the same thing. You went left, then right, then up. You went this way? And this way? You should still get the same answer. Because it's rise, then run, correct? So you rose up 3, and you ran 7. You would get the same thing. Alright, please try JK. Would it be a positive or a negative slope? Negative, because you'd fall down the hill.
It's 1.
We're not yelling it out. We're just working it out. Brett, are you with us, son? Okay.
I'm with you.
I appreciate that.
You first.
I'm at 9.
I got the answer.
Do you need a blanket? Do you need a blanket?
It's cold. I think I'm fine.
Yes, the rise goes on the top, the run goes on the bottom. But it doesn't matter how you get from one point. Yes, baby.
I left my blanket in this.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went up 5 and I went left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
-5.
So what is 5 divided by negative 5? Negative 1.
Take that point, right?
Take a point if you got it right.
So this
Yes.
guy say, after you get the right, you get to divide this.
I definitely.
Unless it's like 3 and 7 and those don't divide into each other.
Next one is 0.
Alright, now the next one is 0 as Trey keeps screaming out because he won't let anybody have a moment to just breathe and look at the problem.
Amen.
You don't need a moment.
God.
We do. Now, the reason it's 0 is because you don't rise any. You just run. So the rise would be 0, and the run would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the answer is just 0. It's a 0 slope. 0, 0, 0.
The line crosses through.
I draw a line through my zeros. You don't have to.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Alright, are you guys ready? Now what we're going to do is we're going to find the slope between points. Now, you know that the slope formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1.
Oh, yes, I like this one. This is going to be my favorite one.
Aubrey, can you see, baby, or do I need to zoom in some more? I hope you remember from last year when I taught it to you.
Why am I Let's go in the center. Okay, so I should take 1 and 2 multiply that, right?
Yeah. Alright, so what you're going to do first is you're going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2.
Do we have to do that?
Yes, I want you to do that every single time.
I got 4.
You shouldn't have over anything because you're not a cow.
We'll have 4 divided by 2.
No, 4/3.
Same thing.
Alright, so let's do this together.
4.
What is our y2? Negative 12 minus, what's our y1? Negative 3. Good, good, good. Divided by, what's our x2?
-4 minus 8.
Minus 8. Awesome. Alright, what's negative 12 minus a negative 3? Mm-mm.
-4.
No, baby.
9.
Negative 9. Because it's negative 12 minus a negative. These two negatives right here make it a plus. Alright, and what's negative 4 minus 8?
It is -12.
Okay. What goes into both 9 and 12?
4.
3. What's 9 divided by 3? And 12 divided by 3?
5.
4. And why did I change it to a positive 3/4? Not just two negatives, but a negative divided by a negative, right? Fantastic. If you got it right, take a point.
Yes, I got that right.
Try PQ without me.
Oh.
What?
You know what he called you?
What did he call me?
Never mind.
Am I going to freak out?
You not hear that?
Then just don't tell me.
Yeah, I heard that too.
What?
Never mind.
Do the phone. PQ. I know. Mazzaro, are you done with this problem? Mm-mm. Shall I get 4 divided by 0?
Yeah, I got
Okay, now, you can divide 0 by a number, like we did up there in that problem, but can you divide a number by 0? No. Unicorns die. This is called undefined. You cannot divide a number by 0. If you have 4 cheeseburgers and 0 people, how many people gonna eat? None. You just gonna have molded cheeseburgers. You cannot divide a number by 0. Alright, please work out EF. Find the slope of EF. You can do it. No.
Oh my gosh, you got it.
How many of us got 1? Take a point. Fantastic. Look at you go. Does anybody have any questions so far? Do we understand?
This is easy.
When you got -3, divided by
I think it's gonna be the
-3,
easiest one.
how'd you get 1?
-3 divided by -3 is 1.
It is not that hard. Can I throw this calculator at him?
No. I don't know where he said he going, though. All right.
Can I please throw this calculator at him?
What you can do, these are 2 separate problems. So I want you to identify the slope of this graph. We'll call this number 1. And then I want you to find the slope between these 2 points. Let's call this number 2. Do it super fast. Chop, chop. The faster you do this, the quicker we get to our homework and the less homework you have tonight.
I'd rather have homework tonight.
Speak for yourself.
Hey.
Can I? No, you can flip your paper over and look at your notes. Other way. For number 2? Yeah. So what's your answer?
Can I tell you?
What's your answer?
Oh my gosh.
What's 0 divided by 3?
Zero.
No. 0. You need to do this one. You need to do the graph. Huh? You shouldn't get 0 though.
That's what I was thinking.
You shouldn't get 0.
I did too. On the second one.
Let me see it, Eric. Show it to me again. Look, negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6. It's right there. Yeah. Okay. What you want me to do? Not right now. We have a class.
We worked on. I think I'm right. Can I take a point?
How many of us got it right? If 2 people at your table got number 2 right, take a point.
Let me take.
If everybody got it right, take 2 points.
Alfred, did you get it right? Yeah, lit. We lit.
Alright, what about number 1? What's the slope for number 1? It's not over anything. Negative 4/5. How many of us got that right? Take 1 point.
Wait, why'd you get negative?
Because I went left. I would be falling down the negative can be on either. It doesn't matter.
If we all got it right, can we take another point?
Nope. You can for the last one though when we get down there. Alright, let's do this. 15 minutes left. Let's rock and roll. Alright, so do you want to spend longer together?
Yeah, let's get longer.
Right. Alright, so now you have spent 2 class periods today with me. Oh my god.
My stove kitchen.
Nobody yes. Then scratch it.
Parallel and
It's recording.
I hate it.
Alright, let's do this. Okay, so now we're going to apply slope to parallel and perpendicular lines. No.
Wait, is this your ring?
You gotta wait just a minute.
Your ring is pretty. Put it back up there.
So, parallel lines have the same slope. Let's write that right here. Parallel. Parallel lines have the same slope. Which lines have opposite reciprocal slopes? Perpendicular. Now, opposite reciprocal means that it's different signs and you flip it. So let's write that down. Different signs and flip it.
Oh my gosh, I put different sides.
Different signs and flip. Different signs and flip. You know I say what I write, right? Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to use our slope formulas to determine if these are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So first, we're going to label A, x1, y1, and B, x2, y2. And we're going to find the slope of line AB.
She wants to do the same thing we're doing. Nothing more.
Yep, we're doing the exact same thing. Do I need to rewrite the slope formula?
No.
Or could you just flip your paper over and use your notes?
That's too much work.
Oh.
Flip your paper over.
Oh, Lord.
Why don't I just put in my calculator 4 minus 1?
Alright, so then we say 4 minus 5 divided by 4 minus 1. Does everybody agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay, what's 4 minus 5? And what's 4 minus 1?
3.
It's not over anything. It's negative 1/3 or negative 1 divided by 3.
Or negative 100.
No.
We're not mouse.
Oh my gosh.
That makes sense.
No, Tater.
God, say that.
Ignore this. Don't do this. Ignore me. I'm losing my mind. Label this x1, y1, x2, y2. So now we're going to find the slope of CD. So that's negative 5 minus a negative 10 divided by negative 6 minus 9.
I thought that was an equal 5.
All right, what's negative 5 minus a negative 10? Oh, Blair.
5 is 5.
And what's negative 6 minus 9?
Negative 15.
Ready? These two negatives right here, if it's minus a negative, you just add it. If it's minus a negative, you just add. Alright, what is 5 and negative 15 reduced to? Fraction.
Negative 1.
Negative 1/3. Yo, what number goes into both 5 and 15? 5. What's 5 divided by 5?
1,
What's 15 divided by 5?
3.
Are these two the same?
Yeah.
So are the lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Parallel. No.
No.
Eric, go to the restroom real quick.
Yeah, P.
No, PT. Out.
I found the sequence.
Y'all ready? Let's do the next one.
Oh my God. No, we can go.
Because we're actually working. Why did you jinx it? Why? Why did you jinx it?
Okay.
Yeah. A negative divided by a negative is a positive? Because both 1 and 4 are negative? So you get 1/4. No, you do negative 1 divided by negative 4 gives you positive 1/4. Grace, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Perpendicular. Fantastic, because they are opposite signs and we flipped it. These are perpendicular.
Wait, why is it?
Because you have opposite signs and 1/4, if you flip it, you get 4. You would get 4 divided by 1, which is 4, right? Alright, last one. Do that one without me. Go. Super fast, and we can start on our homework.
Oh my gosh,
And we
have
can
homework?
finish our homework.
Oh.
Okay, stop that. I'll give you more homework.
Oh, yeah,
Please be quiet. I can't do my work. Okay.
Parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Neither. Did y'all get 1/7 and negative 1/2? Fantastic. No. How'd I get what?
Don't put things on God. He didn't do nothing to you.
Oh, that's what it messed up.
Did you fix it?
Yeah, I forgot that.
Oh, okay. You better now? Alright, your homework is the second page in the top drawer. If anybody has an extra lemma habit.
I know you can take.
Everybody get one. It says homework at the top. Hustle.
I know you want to see me thinking that
It's in the top drawer.
I want to be your baby, baby, baby. I'm just
Alright, she's slacking over there checking her phone.
I mean, for real. I'm not like that.
Yeah, we only have one.
No. It's that
Hey, Blair, we got extra. I was like, you have extra.
Okay, I see you too. No. Well, ish. You might want your formulas. Alright, so I forgot to write the instructions at the top. I don't know what happened when I made your homework last night. So what I want you to do is write the equation and graph. Now, last year you learned 3 different ways to write equations of lines. Who remembers one way? Trey? Y equals mx plus b, which is called slope-intercept form. There was another way. Does anybody remember? Yep. It's called, if you have a point and a slope, what's it called? Point slope form. Take a point. And the last way is standard form. Now here we have a point and a slope. What do you think we're going to use? Point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So all you do is you plug in m for your slope and label this x1, y1. Yeah, we did. So to write this, you would say y minus 2 equals 4 times x minus 6. Now you might be saying to me, Tater Tot, we need to turn that into slope-intercept form. Well, you can if you want to. How would you turn this into slope-intercept form? What would you have to do first? You would have to multiply, distribute, get rid of the parentheses. And you would say y minus 2 equals 4x minus 24. Then what would I do? No, we're still working on this. You would add 2, and you get y equals 4x minus 22. Now, tell me, can you graph negative 22 on this graph?
No.
No. So, instead of doing that, we're going to use our point slope form to graph this. Is everybody ready?
Not really.
Why?
Oh, no.
You don't know what we just did? Okay, the first thing we did was we plugged it into point slope form. Are you with me on that? And then all we did was distribute so that we can get it to slope-intercept. We did that only so I can show you that you don't have to graph it in slope-intercept form because that's at negative 22. You can graph it in point slope form. So all you have to do is plot this point. So let's go right 6, up 2. My slope is 4, so you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 1. Connect your dots. No.
You did 2. You did 4.
You see where I'm at, Raven?
She's in the same ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for the next problem, you have to figure out, you have to write an equation for the line that passes through this one and is perpendicular to AG. So first, you need to find your slope. of AG. To find your slope, you do negative 2 minus 6 divided by negative 1 minus a negative 5. Is everybody with me so far? That's what we've been doing, right? Negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. Negative 1 minus a negative 5 is 4, so your slope is negative 2. Now, for them to be perpendicular, what kind of slope should they have? Opposite or reciprocal. So the opposite would be, the perpendicular slope would be a positive. What? What happens if you flip 2 over? This is negative 2 divided by 1. So if you flip it, what does it become? 1/2. So you're going to use this slope and this point.
Would it be 1/2 or negative 1/2?
Positive 1/2, because this is negative 2, and you need opposite reciprocals. So you need opposite signs, and you need to flip it. For the last one, it's parallel. So what kind of slopes do you need to have for that? The same slope. We just wrote that down, and if you're confused, you can look back right there. Raven, are you with me? Are you sure? And if not, when can you come see me? 0 period.